Okay, folks, welcome to the 2013 National Indoor Championships. We're at the 4x-mile. At the half-mile mark at the first runner, Kevin James leading off for us. Currently in second place with the hot heat of the 4x-mile, the best teams in the country. Kevin James in second place.
Let's go!
Kevin James coming through the half-mile in 2:09. Of course, we all know last night, less than 12 hours ago, or 16 hours ago, Kevin James and the other three members of the distance medley relay went All American. They're back on the track here this afternoon in the 4x-mile, running against the 12 teams that are the top teams in the country. Now, 30 teams have already run. Council Rock North.
Let's go! Let's go, Kevin!
Kevin James surges into the lead. Kevin James is no other word to describe him, but sophomore Kevin James is unbelievable. Last night he ran a 3:08 1200, which would 3:17. He's going to come through here. All right, so let's see what KJ is going to do now. 4x-mile, we have 4 runners that run a mile each. It is the most grueling event in track. You need 4 runners that can run a mile. Penn Track has already called this race we're watching right now the signature event of the entire 2013 Indoor Championships. So what you're looking at is Kevin James getting ready to hand off with Christian Brothers and Northport right behind him. Christian Brothers making a move with 1 lap to go here for KJ. KJ's going to go with him. He had a little bit of a stumble there, but here's Christian Brothers and Kevin James of O'Hara with opening up an 8-meter lead over Northport, Arcadia, Kinetic, Collegiate, and a whole bunch of other schools. American Davis is in there, so he hands off to Ernie Pitone.
I had 420.8.
420.8. That's amazing. Okay, Kevin James, 422.8 was his best time this year. He runs his best PR of the year, of his career, a 420.8. So we get a 420 mile from Kevin James. And remember, it's a true mile, which is a 1.5 seconds longer than a 1600. So he runs the mile of his life. Now, folks, it looks like you're watching a regular track meet. Let me pan out here. You're seeing the 12 best teams in the country. Remember,
Outside shoulder! Outside shoulder!
3 of the top 5 cross-country national teams are here in this race. Christian Brothers, O'Hara, and another. Those American Fork. There's Davis of Utah in there. Oh, Arcadia, of course, the national champs. Arcadia in all maroon. Now, let's pan out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Westchester Henderson in this race also. But you are seeing an unbelievable race here. Ernie Pitone. Ernie Pitone goes through in 64. He ran 429 or 428 earlier in the year at the Meet of Champs. Right now, Ernie Pitone, our second leg, he's going to be heading off to Dan Savage, and Jim Belfatto is going to bring us home. He's got us in front. He's a step off right behind Christian Brothers Academy. So the times you're looking for, times start to be great under 18 minutes. Council Rock North, out of the earlier heat, has 17:40. That's the best section. No one in the second section beat 17:40. So that's the time to beat. It's the best time in the country so far this year. You just saw was run a half hour ago from Council Rock North of Pennsylvania. Announcer
210, 211.
Ernie goes through in 210. So,
Yes.
So Kinetic is in third. It's too hard to see these other teams. But here's Ernie Pitone. Ernie Pitone on the backstretch just surged into the lead. Folks, this is the National Championship of High School 2013 at New Balance Nationals. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving yourself. You're seeing Ernie Pitone from Cardinal O'Hara in the black spandex and red two-tone jersey in the lead of this race with Dan Savage and Jimmy Belfatto still to come. Now, Ernie is fresh. Ernie's our slowest leg of all four by a couple of seconds. But Ernie Pitone has surged out to the lead. And there's the rest of the pack trailing. Northport, Collegiate, Chantilly, Henderson. How many laps we got to go here, Coach?
2 to go, 3:17.
You come through at 3:17. By the way, they're going to take the staggers. They're going to take these baton and staggers because they're running a mile on a 200-meter track. That's why you saw Kevin James start off. Let's see what Ernie can do right here. Ernie is so steady. Tremendous cross-country season, cross-country All-American, and he's looking for a track All-American certificate to go with it. Top 6 in this race. If they beat 1740, top 6 will go All-American. Ernie Pitone looking to become a 2-time All-American. There's Christian Brothers behind him. Christian Brother, he's holding off Christian Brothers. Who's in orange right behind, Coach?
I do not know. I'll get you an update.
Okay. Folks, Ernie Pitone is going to hand his baton off no worse than second. And there's Christian Brothers making a move. Ernie's staying right with him. Wow.
I got 4:22.9.
Oh, folks. Ernie Pitone just ran 4:22.9. Ernie Pitone just beat his PR by 7 seconds here on the national stage. He hands off to Dan Savage. Now, what can we say about Dan Savage? Danny ran 4:16 last night. 4:16.6. He's the anchor, the blood and guts of this team, along with Ernie. The 2 seniors on this 4-by-mile team. I mentioned that Chris Pastor, the alternate for this team, also has a 4:27 to his credit. Running the 4x8 later today. These 5 runners, the 4 of them you see on the track, and Ernie Pitone and Chris Pastor have got us here this year where we are. They've Blacksburg and Davis in their 3rd. And Danny playing a little cat and mouse with Christian Brothers. And that's great because as they play cat and mouse, so that's not Christian Brothers, yes it is. As they play cat and mouse, here's the rest of the field. Danny Savage from O'Hara and the runner from Christian Brothers have opened up a 15-meter lead on the rest of the pack. Let me phrase that differently. They've opened up a 15-meter lead on the rest of the United States. Do you believe what we're seeing, folks? Kevin James leads off in 4:20.9. Ernie Pitone comes back in 4:22.9 with a 7-second PR. And Danny Savage keeping us close. Danny ran the best mile that anyone has run at O'Hara in 9 years last night. And all he did was have dinner, go to bed, wake up, and he's back on the track today. What can he possibly run that would be anywhere near the 4:16 he ran last night? But we have to.
He's out 2:08.
He's out 2:08. So he's out 2 seconds faster than Kevin James and Ernie Pitone.
2:08! 2:08!
All right.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right, let's paint on the rest of the field. There's Danny and Christian Brothers. Look at the track behind them. Look at the track. There's nobody there. Here's Northport, at least 35 meters behind, and the rest of the track. Now there's a couple of great anchors coming up in those teams, and we're going to anchor with Jim Belfatto. But all Dan Savage knows is he's staying behind Christian Brothers. He's keeping it close, and he looks great. 2 laps to go.
Go for it! Go for it! Go for it!
Danny Savage is getting ready to take the lead. Dan Savage right on the shoulder of Christian Brothers. You are seeing by far the best race. Now, folks, I know you're home and you see these kids running so smoothly. Can you imagine how fast they're running? They're running 420 miles. 1/100th of 1% of the human population will ever run as fast as our 4 runners are running today on the track in these 17 minutes. 3:13? 3:13. Danny is 4 seconds ahead of Kevin James's time at this point. Now he's coming into traffic. The Christian Brothers runner is outstanding for sure. He's on a 4:20 pace. Dan, there you go. Dan Savage getting called out by the announcer here. Folks, I know this is a long race. It's 17 minutes of craziness. It's the one that Penn Track is calling the signature event of the day. Okay, here's Dan Savage. Blood and guts. What can you do? You're seeing 3 runners in red uniforms. Danny's right there trying to keep it close. Trying to keep it close for Jim Belfatto. Remember, top 6 teams go All American, but also have to beat 1740 from Council Rock. Here comes the handoff. Dan Savage.
420 for Danny.
418
for brothers. Just relax behind him. Relax behind him.
420. So Dan Savage, in a matter of 16 hours, runs a 416 and a 420. And there's Jimmy Belfatto, closes the lead immediately, folks.
Just follow.
All right, let's see what Jimmy's going to do here. 8 laps on the track, that's a mile. Jim Belfatto snuggles up right behind Christian Brothers' anchor.
Just follow him. Follow him. Follow him.
Coach, is that Jack Boyle from...
I think Jack Boyle ran third.
Okay, so Coach is telling me that he thinks that Christian Brothers' top leg ran 3rd with Danny Savage. I mean, there's all kinds of strategy. We've got Jimmy Belfatto now. Jimmy Belfatto has a 4:31 this year to his credit. However, Jim is the new school record holder in the 2 mile. He ran a 9:22 2 mile. And last night on the DMR, he ran 1:56 and a half, the best half mile indoor that anyone at O'Hara's run in 5 years. Okay, Henderson, is that Henderson right on him? Who's in 3rd right there, Coach?
I'll get you up there.
Okay. Henderson working her way up. Let's take a look at the field. Christian Brothers, O'Hara, the team, red team in 3rd. There's Northport in 4th. Okay, that's Arcadia's in 3rd now. Oh boy, folks. You hear the announcer saying O'Hara continues to run stride for stride because nobody thinks we could do that. We were the last place qualifier in this heat. The 13th qualifier at a 13. And yet, look at them, folks. They're right there. Jimmy Belfatto's in 3rd. Now, I have to imagine from the first 3 times.
Belfatto's at 207.
Belfatto's at 207. Belfatto was out very good. As fast as anybody else is on the track today. There he goes, Jim Belfatto getting a shout out. There's your leaders, folks. National championship, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 and 5. And a big gap. A big gap. There he is right there. A big gap between 5 and 6. I have to think that the first 3 legs of this race are outstripping the 1740 that Council Rock ran earlier in the day. I think the places you see, oh my gosh, Tony Russell comes out of nowhere from Henderson to take the lead. All right, so Tony Russell from Henderson is a great runner. He's running inspired. Honestly, I didn't even see him there. So it's Henderson in 1st, Christian Brothers in 2nd, Arcadia in 3rd, Jimmy Belfatto from O'Hara in 4th, and Northport in 5th. Those are your top 5, and 6 isn't that far behind. So Tony Russell means business here. 3:14. So Jimmy Belfatto comes through in 3:14, which is right in between what Kevin James and Danny Savage just ran. Now, Jimmy Belfatto has got the best speed on this team if he's got something left in the tank. Now, are we in 3rd, Coach?
We're in 3rd.
Okay, Jimmy Belfatto moves to 3rd. Here's your race for the national championship. Tony Russell from local Henderson, Christian Brothers, top 5 in the country SE, former 2-time cross-country champions, and junior Jimmy Belfatto, who's only 15 meters behind, with a 15-meter lead part. They come down to the bell lap, folks. History is going to be made. History is going to be made. They didn't even want to let us in this heat. They said we weren't good enough. That our times were theoretical. Here's Christian Brothers. And here's Jimmy Belfatto finishes.
421-1.
421-1 race for Jimmy Belfatto. Third.
1725.
Oh my goodness. 1725. All American. The announcer saying that's the fourth all-time race by Christian Brothers. You have seen an unbelievable heat. Cardinal O'Hara takes third, goes All American. Congratulations to Ernie Pitone, who ran the second leg of this race and beat his PR by 7 seconds. Without Ernie Pitone, we don't get All-American. We finish about 8th. We would finish 7th in this race. Ernie Pitone, 2-time All-American, and congratulations to our boys wherever they are out there. Jimmy Belfatto, 421. Ernie Pitone, 422.9. Kevin James, 422.8, and Danny Savage, 420 flat. 3-time All-American. Jimmy, Kevin, and Danny. Congratulations.
What was
2013 4x mile, Cardinal O'Hara, 3rd place, All-American.
6 was 1730.